Right, now we'll introduce the idea of using a rebounder or mini trampoline, which is a very useful training aid and can be used in a variety of ways. A lot of people are familiar with this sort of thing from, say, aerobics classes and similar things like that, and it can be used in a very versatile way. For example, probably the most basic movement on a rebounder is a double leg bounce, as William is doing there. But for example, it can also be used to allow a running action while on the rebounder, as you can see. Now you might be thinking, why would you want to bother running on a rebounder, running on the spot? Well, there are several reasons. One is as an aid to recovery. If, for example, you have got sustained an injury, you're recovering from it, and you're trying to avoid too much load-bearing exercise, especially of a high-impact nature, one of the benefits of using a rebounder is that it's a very low-impact, almost zero-impact, very low-impact exercise, because the trampoline surface absorbs the impact as your body weight comes down and lands on the foot, rather than, for example, running on a hard surface or a road, where the impact is absorbed by the body rather than the surface you're running on. So this is a great aid for some forms of injury when you're rehabilitating and you're trying to return to a running motion, but you don't want high impact. It's also useful after high impact training, for example. Let's say you've had a heavy running day one day, it's inadvisable for you to go out and do another high impact session the next day. Fine, but if you want to still work on your aerobic and cardiovascular fitness, working out on the rebounder is a good way of doing it in a low impact way. Now, I mentioned recovery bouncing earlier, which, if William is demonstrating it here, this is just a gentle up and down motion. You can do it with as small or as large a motion as you like, but basically, here we go, you're talking about just bouncing up and down on the spot. Again, this is a low impact exercise, so for example, while it works the same areas of musculature as, for example, skipping with a rope, the trampoline is absorbing the impact. So, again, the same thing applies there. Great low impact exercise, but good for cardiovascular and aerobic capacity. This, however, has another benefit. NASA did a lot of research on what forms of exercise would be of benefit to returning astronauts who had been in a weightless environment. And a couple of the concerns that they were particularly looking at was what happened in regards to bone density, because if you're in a zero gravity environment your bone density decreases, and also what happened to the lymphatic system, which, unlike the heart, the blood, is not a circulatory system, it's not pumped around the body, it operates, if you like, on a series of valves. And in a weightless environment there were concerns that the lymphatic system would simply pack up. Now, the lymphatic system is affected by gravity. When you bounce up and down on a trampoline, you come up and you drop and you have increased gravitational force on the body. I'm not sure exactly how much, 2-3 Gs, maybe above, depending on the height of the bounce. That stimulates the lymphatic system, which can be a great benefit as an aid to recovery. Basically, the lymphatic system is crucial in the role of the immune system, but also generally in recovery from heavy exercise. One of the drawbacks if someone is ill and so bedridden is that at a time when their immune system is low, they stop stimulating the lymphatic system because they're lying down all the time, which can not, shall we say, not help the condition. This, however, is a great lymphatic stimulant, which is good for your general recovery and your general health. So, there are many ways of using the rebounder, and I'll talk about a few of them as we go on.